Alright, so here we go. I already did my best of 2015. If you want to check that video, go right ahead. That's a very positive one. Talk about all the greatness that came out in 2015. Now, I'm going to try not to get too negative where it's just me bitching the whole time. But we got to get a little negative because we're talking about the worst of 2015. The absolute bottom of the barrel pieces of shit that just reach up and choke on it. It hurts your soul a little bit watching these movies. And, well, I guess there's one or two that are actually pretty funny to watch. But yeah, we'll get into it. First off, I want to give a couple honorable mentions. Actually, before that, disappointing. They weren't bad. But yet, I have negative thoughts when I think about them. They were disappointing movies. First up, Spectre. It's James Bond from the same guy that did Skyfall. And it's kind of a forgettable, very poorly written, just a lot of bad decisions. It's disappointing. The Man from U.N.C.L.E. It's close to being on the bad list because that movie, I kind of like the performances and then the story is just very... But it's a forgettable, generic, crappy movie. Jurassic World. So much potential just to do the exact same shit they did 3 times already, and then a really cool fight at the end. The only bit of real originality, awesomeness that we haven't seen before. Everest. I know a lot of people like this movie. I think it's very good at setting location. You really feel like you're on the mountain freezing, but totally generic, forgettable characters and performances. Sorry. Black Mass. So much potential squandered. I don't know if I did a review, but it was like... It's such an interesting story, so many interesting aspects, and it just feels like a dull misfire, because everything they did felt like the wrong thing. Really good performances, but it's just dull, and it doesn't really feel like the plot's being pushed forward by much, and what they choose to focus on is not what you should be. There's more interesting aspects to that story. Hotel Transylvania 2, a pretty damn solid movie for the first 85%, and then they just end it the wrong way. A bad writing decision. It felt very unsophisticated. You get a lot of sophisticated movies that are animated, and it's like, it's actually for adults. It's actually got good themes, and it feels smart. And this one, you have a decision, and let's just get spoilers here. The whole movie's about if the kid is going to be a vampire or not, and Adam Sandler's Dracula is like, you must be a vampire, otherwise I won't be happy. And then he actually comes to a decision. He learns it's not about being a vampire, it's about what's on inside that matters. It's not that he's a vampire, it's that he's my grandson and I love him. And that's the right decision. So then the kid should be human, and he accepts him as a human, and it's real good. It's smart, it's sophisticated, but it's okay, he's a vampire, so he can love him fully now. Like, it's just bad writing. Come on, that was... You had exactly... It was... You didn't even have to write it. You should know. That's where it goes, and they went, whoop! 180, and it's bad writing. And now for dishonorable mentions, we got Terminator Genisys. When I reviewed it, I liked it. I liked parts of it, but at the end of the day, it just felt kind of generic and forgettable and mediocre, and it is. Paul Blart Mall Cop 2. I didn't sit through that movie. I would not. I refused. Insurgent. I like the first Divergent movie. Sorry. And then this one, I sat there the whole time, and when it was over, I'm like, nothing happened. Nothing. Everything that happened in that movie did not push the story forward. It wasn't even set up. It was just shit meandering through nonsense and nothingness. It was an empty movie. Transporter Refueled. I was going in there like, I don't know what I'm getting. Maybe I could laugh at it, and it had a couple moments, but generic, forgettable, bad action, bad acting, horrible movie, and then by the last 30 minutes, I didn't give a shit. I could have walked up, got up, left the theater, and I would have been as satisfied with the movie as if I stayed. It was that, just, I didn't give a shit anymore. It was horrible. Jupiter Ascending, I didn't actually watch it. I didn't. Sorry. But I know everyone hates it, and I'm like, listen, I watched the CinemaSins video, I kind of understand the movie. Honest Trailers and CinemaSins, watch that, and you get a feel for how the movie is. It's bad. Point Break, did not watch it. Hot Pursuit, did not watch it. Paranormal Activity, whatever the fuck it was, did not watch it. Hot Tub Time Machine 2, didn't fucking watch it. Mordecai, didn't watch it. Gem and the Holograms, Pan, and The Road Chip, didn't fucking watch them. They look that bad, I could smell the stink on them from like months away and avoided them. And fucking Pan, really. That one actually gets me mad thinking about it. You got the boy who never grows up and all this coolness that is Peter Pan. So let's tell an origin. Why does Hook hate Peter Pan? Let's have him be a cheesy, I'm Captain Hook. It's very cheesy in the trailer, and it's like, oh, we're gonna be buds. And then let's have Hugh Jackman acting his ass off as Blackbeard. And it's just take a really cool story and do all the unnecessary shitty setup for a cool story. No, that's the one origin story we never needed, is Peter fucking Pan. Crimson Peak. I thought it was going to be an awesome ghost movie. Very disappointed to find out it was a bad romance movie. The characters, it's supposed to be a romance. No chemistry. Did not feel any connection to them. Like, it's really badly written and dull, forgettable. The only part I remember is when Loki's sister's jerking him off, and then Mia Wasikowska walks in like, whoop. It's just like, oh, like that's weird. And the ghost designs were cool, as brief as they were in the movie, but not a good movie. And then also Poltergeist. Take an amazing classic horror movie and just bastardize it, make it PG. And the old one was PG, and you still had a guy pulling his face off. Like, a guy pulls his face off in that movie, and I want to take his face off. But in this one, you just got shitty, like Sam Rockwell and he's wasted, and it's just generic shitty scares, and taking everything cool about the movie and giving it a PG-13, the weak-ass PG-13 stamp of approval. Like, it's all forgettable. It's all CGI, shitty, fake garbage, and it's vapor evaporating from my mind. I can't even remember it. Okay, and this one, it's called War Room, and I didn't actually watch it. It was at my theater where I work, but it caught my attention. I had to walk in and sit down during a couple scenes where it's actually funny. I don't like the movie, but I like these scenes. They're so funny. I don't know what War Room's about. No idea. But I know there's two scenes. Oh, this is fun. The first one, an old lady's getting mugged, and the guy's, I think he had a knife, and he's like, give me the money, and she's like, you dropped that knife in the name of Jesus. And the guy does, and she's like, you dropped that knife in the name of Jesus Christ, our Lord and Savior. And the guy, like, I don't know if he's just like, fuck you lady, or got freaked out, and he actually like took off. And then they're eating ice cream, and the cop's like, that was pretty brave what you did, man. She's like, oh, it wasn't but nothing. I know a lot of people wouldn't have done what I did, but I got the Spirit of the Lord and the faith in Jesus that protected me and made me brave. And I was like, fuck you. Oh my God, if I was that mugger, I don't know why I'm in that situation, but if she said that, like, stop in the name of Jesus, I'd stab her in the fucking neck, okay? If someone yelled, like, stop in the name of Batman, you actually listen, because Batman will come down and fuck you up. And then there's the second part that was even funnier, where I don't know, so a woman goes in her house and she's sitting down, and she's in her house all by herself, and she's sitting there. Then she's like, I know you there, devil. You in my house with me right now. You trying to fuck my mind with your hate. But I know that God will protect me. God is in the house. God is all around me. God will fuck my mind clean of all your hate. I know you there, devil, but Jesus gonna get you. This is a house of Jesus. Oh God. If there's any Catholic religious people, listen, I'm not shitting on your beliefs, I'm shitting on the movie because it's funny. Jesus fuck my mind clean of all your hate, devil. You can't get in. You can't get in. Jesus is already inside my mind. That is actually, seriously, YouTube it. YouTube War Room. Find those scenes. They will not disappoint. They're hilarious. You drop that knife in the name of Jesus, boy. You do it. Okay. I'm going to sit here all day doing that. Okay, here we go. And this is a 12. We have 12 movies because, you know, the crappy mediocrity and crap on crap just I had to stretch it a little bit to give everyone a fair share. And like I said, I wasn't going to watch fucking Point Break. I wasn't going to watch Jupiter Ascending. Channing Tatum and elf ears? No thanks. Paranormal Activity, they showed the ghosts. Like, the only thing kind of interesting is, oh, you don't see what's going on, but it's kind of creepy, at least in the third one. Now let's see the ghosts. Let's take all the interestingness out of it and just, alright, there he is. When's he going to do something? Like, fuck that movie. But, Hot Tub Time Machine 2 looked like probably the biggest, worst piece of unfunny shit. But, I couldn't sit through Gem and the Holograms, even though that probably would have fit on here real nice. That trailer showed me the whole movie, though, so it's okay. Number 12, The Boy Next Door. And it's almost one of those so bad it's good. It's almost funny like that, because Jennifer Lopez is like a history teacher, and she's super smart. And then this beefcake of a 19-year-old student there, and they hook up, and then he goes psycho. Like, it should be so bad it's good, but it's not. It's very dull and forgettable. There's kind of a hot sex scene in there, but that's about it. It's ass. I'm trying to shit on it, but I don't remember enough about the movie, really. Go watch my review for a more in-depth. It's just Boy Next Door. It's crap. Number 11, Vacation. Okay, National Lampoon's Vacation and Christmas Vacation. Classics! Ultimate comedies, just awesome movies. I don't know much about European or Vegas Vacation, but this one, I don't know what that was, really. Was that a fart? Was that shit? Yep. But yeah, you got Ed Helms and poor Christina Applegate, and they're in there trying to be funny, and to the movie's credit, it had like 2 jokes. I actually counted. Sometimes it's like, hey, maybe it was a few jokes, but this, I actually was able to keep count of the 2. I think you see Thor's balls, or his dick, or something. You see some of his genitalia, and there was something Christina Applegate did that was funny. But aside from that, it was a very unfunny, trying so hard to be funny and raunchy, and like, aren't we out there and gross and funny? It was just a bummer. It was so unfunny, it started hurting. Like, it wasn't even smirk laughs. It wasn't even deliciously bad. It was just sad and made me feel icky and like, I actually felt a little sick watching it. Like, the amount of unfunniness in this comedy is hurting me. Number 10, 50 Shades of Grey. I won't lie, when I first watched this movie, I came out of the theater, and sometimes this happens, where I'll watch a movie, and if you ask me immediately what my thoughts are, and I haven't thought about the movie the whole time, I might give a different opinion on what it actually is. Because, like, even Mission Impossible Rogue Nation, when I first watched it, I was like, it was good. It was a really solid movie. But when I really thought about it and watched it a couple more times, I'm like, actually, it's amazing. It was really good. But my initial thoughts were a little bit weaker, but still positive. And this one, they were positive. I was kind of blinded by nudity because Dakota Johnson is naked in this movie a lot. And that was swaying my opinion a little bit. Like, there's a lot of nice nudity. But that's what the internet's for, too. So it doesn't make the movie good. And then I really thought about the movie like, yeah, this movie, like, the writing is so inconsistent and bad. There's a lot of lines. They're just, it's one of those movies that borders on so bad it's good, depending on your sense of humor and how deliciously awful you think this movie is. But really, they don't have much chemistry. They're not enjoyable together. It's got it was slightly humorous for me. It had a couple jokes that I kind of went with. But it's dumbly written, it's bad. It doesn't have the grammatical errors or anything of the shitty book, but it's just a bad, crappy movie. It wants to be sexy, and listen, I liked all the female nudity, but it's not a very sexy movie or anything. It's not titillating. But yeah, it's bad. Number 9, Aloha. This movie, I had a lot of high hopes for. Going in, that trailer really swayed me. Like, this is going to be awesome. I like Bradley Cooper. I love Emma Stone and Rachel McAdams. John Krasinski, this is going to be awesome. Bill Murray, it's from Cameron Crowe. I love Jerry Maguire. And then I sat there, and all the happiness, the joy, the excitement was slowly getting sucked out of me during the movie. This movie was boring. It was just flat. There was no chemistry between any of the actors. It was confusing and dull and just... That was basically what happened to me in the theater seat. I started I probably could have fell asleep. If I wasn't working the theater, like if I wasn't at work technically and had to kind of pay attention in case someone wanted something, like I would have, if I was at travel to see that movie, I would have leaned back and just tilted my head and fell asleep. It was so boring and crappy and forgettable. I love Emma Stone, okay? I think she's fantastic. She's a talent. Bradley Cooper also. They have no chemistry. The movie is like 60% failing romance, and then a lot of, here's weird, not necessarily important shit about Hawaii, and also something about a satellite we have to set up for military reasons, whatever. It's just... My number 8, Sinister II. I love the first Sinister. I thought it was a really cool, interesting horror movie. Pretty fucking creepy, and it was kind of subtle. It didn't have to go too over the top or anything, and I really enjoyed it. And then this one came on, I'm like, fuck yeah, Sinister II. I don't know if it's necessary, but let's check it out and see. In the theater, sometimes a good horror movie in the theater doesn't hurt. Insidious Chapter 3, I enjoyed watching that in the theater. Made it super creepy, and I liked it. And then this one was the opposite. First off, my experience was bad enough as it was, because there was like 3 different groups of people talking, and I was just like, fuck, ugh. I need a bat. I'm gonna bash their heads in. Like, I was in that mind state. I was like, I'm gonna kick your ass. It's disrespectful, okay? If you can't shut the fuck up during a movie, don't go. And turn your fucking phone off and just sit there and take it like the rest of us. But then the movie itself, it's like, the first one was so subtle and actually creepy, and this one is just a bunch of jump scares and unsubtlety. Like when they get to the tapes, like there's one where these people are hung up in like a swamp and an alligator comes out and eats them, and so much shit where it's just like, this is everything that made the first Insidious, sorry, everything that made the first Sinister good, this movie did the opposite. It was horrible. The kid actors in this movie, that was a subtle comedy, because they were bad. The kid actors in this were painfully bad, horribly unlikable characters also, that you know, it's just, you're only here to die for our enjoyment, and I'm not happy about that. You're only here, so I'm gonna hate you, so that when you die, I'm happy. And I'm not getting fucking fooled. This movie sucks. Bagul, all he does is pop up to go, boo scare, Bagul scare. Yeah, it's like there was little touches every now and again where it's like, okay, that was okay, and I like that. But then like also during the tapes, like they had this really more just kind of hurt your ears type music where it's guttural sounds. I was like, what is this? And then yeah, the tapes were the one I liked kind of because it was from Too Fast Too Furious, where there's like a rat with a bucket and so they dig into you. I'm like, that's from Too Fast Too Furious. They stole that. Number 7, Minions. I like the two Despicable Me movies. They're both really good, solid movies. The Minions in them, in small little doses, were pretty cute and funny. Not the best ever, but I was like, they're fine. They're kind of funny. And then this movie, all right, let's give them their full movie. Let's ruin this. Let's run this into the ground and then dig through the center of the earth to come out again, just to do it all over and run into the ground again. It was so overdone. I hate the Minions now, okay? And they're so overexposed. Every kid loves the Minions, and it's disgusting. Listen, when I was a kid, you know what I liked? Let me grab them. Oh, they were small characters in the Toy Story movies, and they were cute and adorable. Little aliens, look at them. Yee! And they were done in a way where they weren't over. That's like taking the aliens and giving them their own movie, where they're like, you have saved our lives. Ooh, and it's like that for like 90 minutes. That would ruin them too, but they didn't do that because they have taste and talent. Not very funny, not very cute, just annoying because they don't speak. Your main characters in the movie speak in gibberish nonsense, and I'm supposed to follow the movie. And you kind of can, but all the supporting characters are pretty fucking dull. Poor Sandra Bullock is wasted. Everyone's wasted in this movie. There's humorous moments here or there, but overall, the other 95% of the movie is crap with characters I don't like. And when I did like them, it makes me question actually liking them in the Despicable Me movies because they're horrible here. It's just, really, you take the Minions and you shove it into my face, down my fucking throat, and you're making me take it, and I'm gonna fight back because I don't like Minions. It's ass. Number 6, Chappie, Neil Blomkamp. You know what? I really love District 9, as does everyone, right? And I thought Elysium was good, not solid. Like, it wasn't perfect. There was a lot of inconsistencies and bad problems with the movie, but I still thought it was a good movie. I love Matt Damon. He's bald. He's got a robo-skeleton. Cool stuff. But this one was intolerable. Chappie was intolerable. It was horrible. Really. Diane Verd, I don't know. You have on the surface what could be a cool story, but then also, like, it seems like an original cool story, but it turns out they're just borrowing from every other fucking movie you've ever seen. Here's Ed 209 from RoboCop. Take it. He's called the Moose now. Just crap from every other movie. And the movie we have is, it's so intolerable because Diane Verd is also, like the Minions, shoved down your throat. Like, you're gonna take it and you're gonna like it. Guess what? I don't. They're horrible. They're not good actors. They're not likable. And it's supposed to be like Chappie and them are the heroes. You're supposed to be like, yeah, you're awesome. I hated them all. I was wishing halfway through this movie a nuclear missile would randomly come down and blow everyone up. And it would just turn into something else. Because I hated where this movie was taking me. I hated the journey. It was really, this movie is the definition of intolerable. I wanted to get up and leave. It's that just annoying. My number 5, The Ridiculous 6. You can watch my review on it for in-depth, but basically, it's just sad at this point. Adam Sandler was a guy that for so many years I just, I looked up to him, like he's really funny. Billy Madison, Happy Gilmore, Big Daddy, Wedding Singer, 50 First Dates, I Like the Longest Yard. A lot of those movies are really awesome, and it's like, he's funny, he's really good. Here's misfires here and there with like Little Nicky, and that was shit, and I guess 8 Crazy Nights wasn't that good, but you know, overall he's pretty funny. And then it's just, it seems like he stopped trying, and it's just, he hasn't seemed like he's been trying ever since. It's just like, this movie is so bare minimum, scraping the bottom of the barrel of effort. There's no effort in this movie. Every joke is the easiest, most obvious joke. And it's just, I sat there and within the first 7 minutes, I was like, I don't really care. I could turn this off and not miss anything. I won't be curious. And after the first half hour, I was actually like, I want the fuck out of this movie. I want to shut it off. And really, but I said, I'm going to stick through it so I never have to do this again. I'll never have to watch another one again if I sit through this and take it up the tailpipe like a goddamn true hero. But really, by the time it got to the hour mark, I was like shaking, like, let me out of this. I was getting twitches and shit. My brain synapses were firing off as I was becoming stupider watching the movie. And it's just like, I picked up like Taylor Lautner. You know what? It's a horrible, annoying performance, but at the same time, he's so committed, I respect him for it. And Terry Crews is always kind of funny, even when he's got shitty humor to do. But then by the time we get to John Lovitz and Mark Twain, who's played by Vanilla Ice, and then David Spade's General Custer, and they're playing cards or whatever, I'm just sitting there going, why am I still sitting here? And then Rob Schneider does the Home Alone joke. He's like, I do that when I'm at home alone shaving or whatever. I'm like, why am I sitting here? I need to shut this off. That inaudible giant bastard, I don't remember names, but he just like, that's what the guy acts like the whole movie. That guy, I seriously, if I could, I would have reached through the screen and choked the life out of him. I would have did it because it was that annoying. And Adam Sandler, it's a bad performance because it feels like he just feels like he walks on the set and he's just like, I know it's not good, I just got to do it and move on with my life. I can go home and roll in money, just say the lines and go. That's what it feels like when you're watching it. It's just painful, and it gets to the point, and it's just like Nick Nolte's like, Tommy, and I'm like, it's like Warrior, except this movie's shit. And then I guess by like, how long is this movie? 90 minutes even? Like the hour mark. I wish I shut it off. If I shut it off and did anything else, it would have been better for me. But I sat through, and guess what? All those other Netflix Adam Sandler movies that are coming, I'll sit down and watch them. And the second I feel the little voices in my head going, shut it off, I'll do it. Okay? I never have to sit through them again, because I sat through what could possibly be the worst. Unless, of course, you count my number 4. Because guess what number 4 is? It's Pixels, another Adam Sandler movie. He did a double dip on Netflix and in theaters. And which one was worse? Overall, content-wise, I guess you could say Ridiculous 6. But Pixels is worse, kind of because it squanders talent, too. You're in theaters, you know? This is cinematic. It's a big show. You gotta give it your all. You got fucking Christopher Columbus, who brought us the 2 Home Alone movies and the first 2 Harry Potter movies, among other things. That's talent right there. And what do we get? A story of these video game experts who are gonna take on aliens. The shit goes bad where they send a time capsule into space, aliens misinterpret it, so now aliens have created video game characters to come kill us. So like Pac-Man, Donkey Kong, all that are villains. Sounds cool. In the right hands, this could have been a badass. Imagine if like Edgar Wright, you know what he did with Scott Pilgrim vs. the World? Imagine what he could have did with this movie. This movie would have been amazing. It would have been lauded by the critics, everyone, worldwide. This would have been a huge movie. People would have loved it because it would have been done good. Sadly, we did not get that. We got Adam Sandler dragging poor Christopher Columbus to the depths of hell with him. And it's just unlikable characters. Again, Adam Sandler's movie. He's not trying. He's just walking on set with his soul just broken in half, like, ugh. He says his lines and he goes home and he smells that fucking money. Oh, because that's all he can do now. He's not trying. This movie is horribly written. It's horribly written because the sad thing too is it was able to make me laugh a few times. Sorry to admit it, but it had a couple jokes that I laughed at. And then it just, like Peter Dinklage basically was super funny. And everyone else, no. Josh Gad, guess what, buddy? Stop fucking screaming. All you do is yell and scream, and it was annoying because it's like, I like Olaf the Snowman, and this ain't that. You fucker. Like, all he did, he'd walk in and start screaming and shouting every fucking line, and then be done, and leave. And then he fucks Qbert at one point. If you are a fan of Qbert, this movie will break your heart, because he fucks Qbert. Then there's that female character. She's a total sex object just for Josh Gad, and then she disappears and turns into Qbert. Or no, she disappears and then Qbert turns into her magically. So he basically fucks Qbert to make Qbert, but it's disturbing. It's disturbing. And then the movie has no logic, and I get it, it's about video games and all that. But like they're sitting there on the green screen basically just looking very bored while they're shooting that shit like that's Adam Sandler fighting the aliens. And yeah, there's no logic. At one point, Peter Dinklage is like, I did my cheat codes in Pac-Man, and that's why I'm the best. And so I did cheat codes when I was in the car fighting Pac-Man. It's like, but how'd you... Okay, you're driving, and how'd you put in cheat codes? This is the real world. You're playing it like the real world. It's not that out of reality. You're still treating it like reality. So where are these cheat codes in the car? Like, there's logic flaws everywhere. It's like, I want to slap the writer and then put him in a little chokehold and say, don't do this anymore. You need to give some effort. Like Adam Sandler, Hotel Transylvania 1 and 2. Even though 2 had a shitty ending, that shows that, like, he can still do effort in movies. He can still make good movies. He's just... I don't know what it is. And he doesn't even get theater movies anymore. He's on Netflix only. He's been relegated to Netflix. And it's just the potential. There was a little bit of potential at this movie, and they squandered it. Totally unfunny. Kevin James is the president. I know you there, devil. Trying to fuck my mind with your Adam Sandler movies. Well, God will protect me. He put little things over my ears so Adam Sandler's devil dick won't go in and make me think bad thoughts. Alright, we're down to the bottom 3. My battery's dying. Let's just make this quick because I don't want to drag on. Fantastic Four, Fan 4 stick. Again, you got a lot of potential. Josh Trank, I love Chronicle. These actors, very talented. What do we get? Well, the Thing what was his character even in the movie? He did this a lot. And then he turned into a rock. And then everyone, yeah, I just want to mention that because if you don't notice it, it's fucking annoying. But actors that don't play well together, they don't have any real chemistry, they don't feel like friends. Bad, terrible writing, and then just a lot of setup to what could be cool, maybe in the right movie, in the right hands. The movie got totally messed with the studio, and the movie itself might not have been good to begin with. It's a big shit show going on in this. And then in the last 5 minutes, alright, here's Dr. Doom out of nowhere, and he's got like powers to blow up people's heads. And so they go to his world. He's like, I will live on this world and destroy yours because whatever. I want to live here on this empty rock. This is much cooler. I'm happier here. And then the Thing punches him and then it's over. Like, oh my god, it hurts. It's probably the most generic, the most forgettable, probably one of the most poorly handled movies, superhero movies ever. I would sooner watch Batman and Robin, Catwoman, Superman 4 maybe, before this movie ever again. It's painful to watch, and it's just ass. Go watch my review. I don't want to sit here all day talking about it. It brings up bad memories. And yeah, fuck Fantastic. Fan 4 stick. Fan fuck stick. The 2. My number 2, Lost River. You want to talk about squandered talent? The man, the myth, the legend, Ryan Gosling of Drive. Even Only God Forgives. I like that movie. Sorry. I get it. A lot of people hate it. I can understand why. I respect that. But I like it. But that man is a talented actor. And I thought, as a director, this could be awesome. And all he did basically was take all the tropes of a Nicholas Winding Refn movie and do it without the success, because it's a lot of garish coloring. I got tired watching. I was just falling asleep watching the movie. Like, everything's dark and orange and everything's in shadows and it's just ugly to look at. And then there's a lot of neon, but it wasn't pretty neon. It was more Joel Schumacher garish neon. And then all the characters, talented actors, Christina Hendricks, Eva Mendes, Ben Mendelsohn, Saoirse Ronan, a lot of actors that are very talented, and none of them sucked me into their performances. None of them had interesting characters. None of them had interesting stories. And then, so it's just watching people that should be doing good, not meandering through a movie, a slog of nonsense and pretentiousness. And the only part that I remember is when Ben Mendelsohn, Christina Hendricks stuck in this like plastic tomb, and then he walks up and he's like, you want this dick? And he starts doing weird dancing. And I was like, this is amazing. If you can YouTube that scene, do that. But the rest of the movie, don't watch it, okay? Like, if you want to sit down and watch these movies and see how bad they are, I don't know why, but you can. But don't ever give this movie the time of day. After 10 minutes, I was just bored, and I kept sitting through like, We'll see. And I was falling asleep. I was sitting there. It's so ugly to look at. It'll just make you tired. The movie's so dull and boring. Nothing will hook you. Christina Hendricks at one point cuts her face off. That was very gross, disturbing, and that got my attention. Then I was falling asleep. It was pretentious, boring, just ugly and garish to look at. This is probably one of my most hated movies I will ever see. This is the epitome of a bad movie. So much talent being squandered. No story, no interesting characters. I was so upset and disappointed by this movie. It is horrible. You sit through it, and this is something, even shitty movies, sometimes I can have delicious fun making fun of them. But this movie wasted my time, and I wish I could get that time back. There's no fun talking about this movie. It's just, I'm getting, it's like getting a chain wrapped around your neck and getting dragged through a swampy mass of pretentiousness and ass. At my number 1, I don't know how many people watch this movie. I would never recommend anyone watch this movie. The first 2, like the first one, interesting enough, and like what a weird concept. And the second one, I didn't like that much either. But this one just takes the cake. Human Centipede 3. Fuck this movie, okay? Really. Tom Six, you're a sick man. And it's not that that's a bad thing. And there, with taste and talent, you could transform that into a very interesting movie. But Tom Six seems to think putting anything you want on screen in an attempt to just upset, offend, and piss you off equates to brave filmmaking. The guy spends the whole movie, yeah, it's ass to mouth, a lot of it, but also like poor Brie Olsen's character is just like constantly sexually assaulted. And then the main characters from the other 2 movies are here giving horrible performances of everyone's unlikable, and it's just a gross, ugly movie. If you had come from another world and the first movie you ever saw was this, I couldn't blame you if you blew up the planet. If you came from like Saturn and were like, I am from Saturn, I want to see your art, and for some reason you picked up Human Centipede 3 as the first movie to watch, and then you said, destroy the planet Earth, they must die. I couldn't blame you. This movie, it tests your patience. That's how Saturn people talk. But it tests your patience. And really, Tom Six, all he's trying to do is offend you and piss you off. He's not trying to entertain you. He's not trying to challenge you. He's not trying to give you anything worth watching. All he's trying to do is make you pissed off or make you offended. Fuck you. Seriously, fuck you, because you're just wasting everyone's time. Oh, I'm going to offend them. They're going to be so shocked and offended and be mad. And it really, no movie's a bigger waste of your time. Even Lost River. I would recommend you watch that before this. This movie is really, I said this a few times, it's like taking shit and rubbing it on a camera lens and saying that's a movie. It's that bad. Fuck you, Tom Six, okay? Whatever talent you might have, it's not being served by just simply trying to offend and upset and piss people off. This movie is probably, it's probably one of the worst movies you'll ever watch. Don't fucking watch it. This is one of those movies where you'll sit there, and if you don't shut it off, you're going to regret it for the rest of your life. You're going to say, I wish I could get that time back, because it did nothing for me. It's subjecting yourself to torture, really. Not like the first movie where it's like, it's weird and creepy and kind of darkly funny. It's like just, I'm watching ugly disgustingness, and you just feel bad about yourself as a person watching it. So there you go, the worst movies of 2015. In my personal opinion, don't watch any of them, but if you're gonna, still don't. But yeah, comment below, tell me your thoughts on them all. Some of them are funner than others. You can have delicious fun with some of them. Some of them you can't, and I've kind of mentioned which ones. So yeah, comment below, tell me what your worst, give me your top 10 whatever list of your worst movies of 2015. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, because it was painful. To watch a lot of these movies was painful and agony causing, and I hope it was worth it for your entertainment at least. I know you dad devil! That one was fun at least. That was fun. But a lot of these movies just hurt to watch. So really, this video, I hope it brings joy. I hope I can like at least watch this video and be like, well, at least the video that these things led to a fun video. I hope that's the best I can hope for, because these are bad movies. So comment below, tell me your thoughts on the movies, and as always, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys later.